Welcome back to the Business Spotlight. I'm Pat Dewar. My guest today is Dave Swift. He is the marketing guru, and he's talking about the irrefutable laws, if you want to call it that, of marketing. We're covering just a few today. I know Dave will be back again, and we'll finish some more as we go forward. But one of the things that I'm real thankful for is these slides that he's got. You can actually get them. If you're interested and want to connect to Dave, your email is probably the best way to get that?
It is, and it's very simple. It's Dave at themarketingguru.us.
Very good. Well, that's on the screen too. So we talked about the law of leadership. Was there anything else that you wanted to cover in the law of leadership being first?
I think you want to be first into that category if you can, and if you are, you tend to be a leader in it, again, unless you screw it up. That's kind of the thing.
What about somebody like a McDonald's? I mean, were they the first in that whole franchise?
They were, yes. Yeah, they were the first ones with mass-produced hamburgers and that sort of thing, which is why it's very difficult and has been very difficult for poor old Burger King and Wendy's and everybody else who's come along to try to challenge that. And we're going to get into what category and what word, but if you're not the first, there is hope, because what you can do is you can create another category. So another test for you. Who was Amelia Earhart?
The female that flew across.
Okay, she was a female that flew across.
Yeah.
The fact is she was the third person to fly across.
Oh.
But you didn't even remember who the second person was.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay. But what her folks did, her PR person did, was said she is the first female to fly solo across. So what just happened now? Flying across the Atlantic solo just became, instead of a category, it became two categories. And Amelia is the leader, the first person into that second category.
So that's the law of the law of the category.
If you can't be first into a category, let's get creative and see what category can you create that you can be first in.
Right.
And now you're the one who builds that category, and you're the one who is the leader that everybody else has to follow.
Now, is that a category and a niche? Are they different, or are they fairly similar in that capacity?
It depends. I mean, positioning is, you can't go too broad on it if you've got a product or a service, but it's going to be relatively close, but it's just kind of splitting it into, slicing and dicing and splitting it into pieces. You know, classical marketing thinking is that it's about branding and being brand oriented. How do I get people to prefer my brand? Forget the brand. Think category. How do I get them to want the category? Because the category, may in fact be substitutable for the category that you can't ever be number one in.
Well, it's like waters. I mean, have you ever looked at how many different kinds of water? And it's like the best one's always the one that's like $6 for a little bottle like this.
Well, of course, yes. That has
I think you pay for the bottle of the water.
That's a premium pricing strategy. That's a whole other thing. But see, everybody's interested in what's new.
Right.
Nobody is really interested in what's better. That's not sexy. That doesn't grab headlines.
Right.
They're interested in what's new. And the way you make yourself new if you're not first is you're new because you're a new category. That's the key. And then the corollary to that is when you are first in a category, you don't promote yourself, you promote the category.
Oh. Now, what's interesting about that is that so many people, if they get the opportunity to talk about themselves, they gush about, I'm amazing, I'm amazing. And the funny thing is that that's irrelevant.
Absolutely.
What's really relevant is the solution that you bring to the table.
Which is, in this case, a unique category of product or service that is much more exciting than you.
What's a good example of something like that? I mean, I think of waters and stuff, but what's a good example of something that's a unique category that somebody is charged into?
Well, you can start back with automobiles.
True.
Okay. And although the first ones were electric, we'll ignore those for a second since we're finally coming full circle to that. But of the gasoline-powered ones, there were the ones that were expensive and everything. And what did Henry Ford do?
Right.
Henry Ford came out with a new concept, a cheap, very simple, basic. You can get it in any color you want as long as it's black. You know, he created a new category, an economic and reliable automobile. And what happened? He blew away. His category, his new category, became the dominant force for the next century.
Correct. Well, I know that they've done that in gaming stations, and whether it be certain things like Xbox or whatever. But I mean, I see these different things where they open up a new category.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a great way to do it. And I'll go back to my days with Frito-Lay. There was, Doritos. You had tortilla chips. Well, okay. Then we had a category called flavored potato chips, which is corn chips. Then you had, restaurant-style corn chips. Well, that's a whole new category.
Ah.
And now Tostitos can go into that, and they create a new brand around the new category, and away they go.
Wow. Folks, I tell you that if you've got a business, or if you're an entrepreneur, solopreneur, even if you're a CEO of a company, you should be asking yourself, wow, am I literally creating that new category? Am I highlighting the new category? How can I create that? These laws are irrefutable in marketing. We'll be right back.
Staying involved in dentistry on every level, local, state, and national, makes me a better dentist. Our patients are our life and our livelihood, and we appreciate every single patient that walks in that door. And these are our family, and we treat them that way.